Hi there, Chris from Framerverse. Let's take a look at this new component that I've just put into Framerverse. So this was on a request, not to me personally, but just out into the community. I really like this. Can somebody show me how to implement it? So I decided to build it out because I thought it was a lovely piece of work anyway. Convert the React code into a component. So this isn't, all of this React code isn't mine. It is free to use, but I've turned it into a component. So here you have the component in place and across mobile devices, so it's fully responsive component. But let's take a look at the options we've got in it. Oh, let's preview it first. So it has this really nice glowing orb effect, and then when you hover over the area, you get this really nice phasing and deformation effect, which is great. It looks really nice. So what options have we got? Well, we can change the hue, so we can change the colors, and they're all complementary, which is beautiful. So you can get it to just the right color for your whatever you're using it for. We can change the hover intensity. So at the moment I've got that all the way up. So if we drop that down here, and then we can see that when we hover over it, it has less of an effect. So a bit more of a subtle effect. So you've got capabilities there. Do you want it to rotate on hover? So if we put yes, then the unit rotates around as well as deforming. And then we have the forced hover effect, which deforms it whether you're hovering over it or not. So a couple of points to note with this. So there's a remix for this, so you can just take this into your frame. So you just select it and copy and paste it onto your canvas, and you can see here how I've set this up with a section, and we've got the orb as a background, and I have put a unit over the top of it. Now what I found was that if I had my pointer set to none, then of course I'm not going to get this hover effect, right? But I get the ability to hover over a button, because you might have button elements on it or something like that, but the cursor isn't affecting the actual, because the pointer events have been switched off for that unit. So if I switch them to auto, then I am still able to have that deformation happening when I'm over the unit, and I still get to have my clickable items sitting over the top of it. So just make sure of that. And if you look, I've got a Z index of 0 on the orb, and the stack I've got here, I've got a Z index of 1. Now I found that if I switched, let's say I remove the Z index and I remove the Z index here, so that I'm just using the stack index, the built-in stack index, then look, now I have although I'm getting the deformation on hover on the orb itself, I'm not able to get the remix link. So let's try and restructure it, shall we? So let's have a look. So I'm still not getting the remix hover action, but the deformation is still happening. So that being the case, that's why I'm going to set the orb to have a, just move this out of the way, I'm going to set the orb to have a Z index of 0, and I'm going to, whatever sitting over the top of it, I'm going to have a Z index of 1. And now that means that I get to have the deformation on hover and the cursor pointer actions on the link. So just to cover that again, I've set my pointer events to auto, and I've set a Z index layer on it as well. And that will ensure that if you've got it sitting there in the background, it doesn't stop your buttons or whatever sitting over the top from working. That's it. Thanks for watching.